I believe that we have the numbers to make things happen very quickly. We have now the movement, we have seen it crystallize in these marches to harness the energies. And I believe now we have the Spanish we would call ganas, the will to make it happen the right way. And let me just give you what I believe are some examples of why I think we should be very optimistic about where we can head. First, if you take a look at the experience in this country and everything that happens in life, I don't care if it's raising a child or trying to become an elected official or winning a cause or leading a movement, history teaches us what to do. The wheel was invented quite some time ago when it came to the issue of social progress. And so there is no reason for us to believe that we have to create something different to make things happen. Case in point, take our hermanos and hermanas who originate from Cuba. The Cuban American population in this country, most of us, I think, understand, has a great deal of influence when it comes to the issue of U.S. relationship and policy towards the islands of Cuba. Now, if you take a close look at that issue and that population, you'll see some very interesting trends. First, Cuba is a small island, but the Cuban American population is of course even smaller. Cuban Americans number about 1.5 million in this country. That's about 4% of the entire Latino population, and that's about 1/2% of the entire U.S. population. But for over 40 years, we have had a policy vis-a-vis Cuba, which has said no relationship, no interaction with the island of Cuba because of their president, Fidel Castro. I don't care where you stand on that issue. My point here is the following. 1.5 million people could drive policy, very important policies for the relations with a country and an island of people that prior to 1960 or so had very strong ties to the U.S. to the point where the national pastime on the island of Cuba is still baseball. And so how is it that 1.5 million people can determine what happened, not just on Cuba, but with a young boy by the name of Ilian Gonzalez, or to be able to have an immigration policy which really doesn't worry about, or doesn't need to worry about, fortunately our Cuban American brothers and sisters are with us on these issues, but they don't need to worry about the issue of immigration policy, because the moment a Cuban steps foot on any U.S. land or territory, he or she is automatically entitled to stay in this country as a refugee. And it was only until a few years ago that if you were apprehended in the seas trying to make it into this country, and if you were then detained on U.S. territory, you became a refugee as well. And so if 1.5 million could do that, why can't the greater Latino community of over 41 million get closer?